he would step across the line. Habitually. He's a habitual line stepper.
You make me happy. Thank you all for joining us on the Habitual Line Steppers podcast, y'all. I am Garrett Charles Langley Henson.
And I am Terry Ricardo the second. What's going on, brother?
Terry, the NBA Finals are here. Games 1 and 2 went in the books this weekend, and it was a roller coaster ride for the Boston Celtics, who came out there to the Bay Area, no longer Oakland, but San Francisco now, since they're not the Oracle.
Francisco.
Oh, they were going to San Francisco, Terry, but these Boston Celtics didn't come with no flowers in their hair. All right, they came throwing D's, okay, ready to play some physical basketball. And it's been really physical over 2 games. Golden State dropped the first one at home. There was a lot of flexing going on in the third quarter. We thought we were watching the Warriors do their usual third quarter blitz where they blow teams out of the water. Steph Curry had 34 points. He was shimmying. He was chewing on his mouthpiece. He was doing all the stuff. And then Al Horford happened. In the fourth quarter, Al Horford, Marcus Smart, and Derek White went like 15 for 21 on threes.
Yeah,
and
ridiculous.
The Celtics made like 7 threes in a row and got like 7 stops in a row. And 25-point swing, they ended up winning game 1 by 12 points in what was like one of the fastest, most dramatic comebacks I've ever seen on a basketball court.
Yeah. That shit was wild to see, bro. Like, Al Horford did it again. He did his Al Horford thing. This dude looked like a flat-out knockdown shooter. Derek White, I'd never seen him shoot, even attempt to shoot that many threes, like with the Celtics jersey on. And then your boy Marcus Smart, he did his thing. Steph Curry, though, first quarter, he did his thing. He played well, but it just kind of looked like it was just a lapse of concentration. Like, I feel like in the first
he got a lot of open-ass looks in the first quarter especially. It's like, how are we losing Steph Curry on the first action?
Dude, how many open threes did he get in that first quarter? Like 4?
It's like 4 or 5, yeah.
Absolutely
and then
wide open.
After that, they clamped it down. And they're like, all right, no more fucking up the rotations. We're going to make these other guys beat us. Klay Thompson couldn't dribble to save his life.
Oh.
Otto Porter was out there, but not doing much. Where I really thought they lost the game was there was a stretch where, first of all, I thought Steph was on a bench too long in the fourth quarter. I thought the Warriors were kind of cocky out here trying to get Iggy some minutes and get Iggy back. Those minutes that Iggy and I think it was Looney were on the floor together, they were like minus 15 in like 3 minutes. Like, they got smoked.
Yeah.
And it's like, Steve Kerr, this is the NBA Finals, what you played for all year. Like, this is not a tune-up game to try to get guys, like, into shape. Like, if you're not ready to go, you shouldn't be playing in a finals game. And that 3-minute stretch cost them game 1.
Yeah. Well, I don't think this Iggy thing is going to be something that we need to see anymore, bro. Because clearly he's done. He didn't play in game 2 because of soreness. And he played, like, 15 minutes in the fucking first, in game 1, if that? Like,
not even, yeah.
Iggy's like 37. He's not going to be a factor. Like, let Wiggins play, let Otto Porter play, let Gary Payton play. He's back. Iggy's done. He's done. I think this is the last we're going to see of this dude. Even if he's hurt or not, he probably won't play anymore. Spot minutes.
You'll just see, spot minutes, situational stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? Got to get a stop on this end. That type of stuff.
And I think that's what they wanted to do with him, but it was just, like, so bad. Steve Kerr was like, shit, man, I don't know what to do. But, honestly, though, like, they just hit a bunch of threes. It wasn't really much like Golden State could do about it. Like, if Derek White and Al Horford are going to be knockdown shooters and you can't stop it at all, you're just going to have to chalk it up.
Well, Draymond Green said as much after the game. He was like, the Celtics shot 51% on threes. They made like 24 threes. He was going through the box score. He was like, Derek White, Al Horford, Marcus Smart, Peyton Pritchard. He was like, you think those guys are going to combine for 18 threes next game? He was like, get out of here. We're going to be fine. Turns out Draymond Green was absolutely right, Terry.
He was.
Game 2, The series has been a tale of two games. We'll see what happens when he goes back to Boston if it's a tale of two cities. Word to your boy, Big Dick Dickens. But the Celtics, even though they were throwing the volleyball in the ocean in game one, game two, nothing seemed to come off for anyone not named Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum. All those role players that were killing. Al Horford had I don't think he made a three.
No.
There were several bad air balls that were like, air balls that would have been incomplete passes if you were on a football field.
Yeah.
And whether it was from Derek White, Jaylen Brown had an air ball. I think Marcus Smart had an air ball. Somebody else hit the top of the backboard with a corner three.
Yeah.
It was just like all the shots that were swishing were suddenly not falling. And the difference was about 30 points as the Celtics got blown the fuck out in game two.
Yeah. I mean, also Jordan Poole kind of showed up in game two, opposed to game one. He didn't do shit in game one. But then one of the big things for me in game one that's kind of could be scary for the Warriors is like, it did, like when the Warriors were making threes, it just seemed like it was always a lapse on Boston's end. It wasn't like the Warriors created something fantastic and like it was a, kick rotation type of thing and they hit a three. It just seemed like they were making mistakes and Boston like kind of clamped that down in the fourth. Game two, Warriors just started hot and didn't really slow down. And honestly, even at half.
Wait a minute. I don't really agree with that, to be honest. Like the Celtics were up 16-7 in the first quarter and the Warriors could not score. And then they had to have kind of that flurry to end the quarter where they tied it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they barely got it tied. But that whole first quarter, I was like, damn, are the Warriors about to fucking lose it again? Like,
yeah,
they dug themselves a hole and they dug it back out. But I didn't think Celtics, they had that game 7 against Miami where it's like wire to wire. They never trailed. They came out from the first second and punched them in the mouth and showed them what they're about. I didn't get the sense that the Warriors did that in this game, even though we're going to look back at the 30 points and the intensity and remember it that way. But when it was happening, I was like, damn, these Warriors are getting out hustled. They're taking bag shots. They're shrinking from the moment again. I was yelling at T. I was like, what did I tell you about turning the ball over? Steph Curry turned the ball over. He tried to throw that full court bounce pass in traffic that picked off. And then he had to tell Kevon Looney to foul the dude on it. You know what I mean? To stop the break. And I was like, here we go again. Here we go again. The undisciplined basketball. But they found a way to fight out of it.
They fixed it. It's still weird, especially in game one. Game two is kind of hard to evaluate because it's such a blowout. It's just kind of weird. I mean, the third quarter, they're still doing the same shit, like blowing teams out every single time. I don't know how anybody's going to fix it, but game one for me, because even the first quarter, when Steph scored 21, I think they were up by 4 points in that first quarter, and you're just like, damn, this dude looks unstoppable. It kind of reminded me of the Devin Booker shit, where you're just like, damn, Devin Booker's got 50 in the first half, and they're up 6. It just seemed like it didn't really, factor into much into the game. That was the best we'll probably see Steph, and it was all mistakes, to be honest. Because, I mean, the turnovers Boston was doing.
You don't think he was better in game two than he was in game one?
It's about the same. I mean, there was a couple shots. I was like, all right, that's some Steph shit. It looked like regular season Steph, but I don't know. He does what he does. He hit that
step back on Al Horford. I was like, that's probably his signature play of the finals so far.
Yeah, that was.
Then after he got going with that one, he had about 3 threes in a row, culminating in the one where Daniel Tice is sitting back in the paint playing drop covers on Steph Curry. And then he shot it off one leg on the right side of the court and switched it.
I think the Celtics are kind of toying with him. I think you have to kind of show some stuff and not show other things. I don't think Tice and Horford and Robert Williams, Time Lord, I don't think they're going to always play drop. I feel like they just did this for the first 2 games, and I don't know if they're going to continue to do that shit in game 3 and 4. They're just going to kind of switch it up on them. They play drop every single time. Every single time they play drop on those switches. On the pick and roll. It was weird.
Yeah. Well, that was another thing. That's a good point right there, Terry, that Golden State went away from their traditional motion offense to just pick and roll. We're going to simplify this down, bring the worst defender up here in the pick and roll, bring one of these slow-footed big guys up here, and we're going to slip hard to the rim, and now Steph Curry's isolated on a big or he gets to switch. Like, they're like, we're just going to simplify it up, man. Let's not beat ourselves.
Basically.
Let's not reinvent the wheel here. And that's an adjustment that Warriors fans been asking Steve Kerr to make for years and years and years. Like, all the nerds that see the numbers of the Steph Draymond pick and roll is like the best play in all of basketball, and they barely ever run it. So all these people have been like, more pick and roll, more pick and roll, more pick and roll. And you see why. But it's nice to have like your whole motion offense in your back pocket, where it's like, now we've given you a steady diet of pick and roll. Now we see you guys to switch up your defensive coverage. You're not really switching everything. Okay, now we're going to incorporate some of that stuff now. And that's when Steph and Clay started getting wide open threes.
No, that's true. Yeah. And then also, like I said, your boy Poole finally kind of showed up in this game. What's up with Tatum, though, man? This motherfucker Tatum had the worst box plus minus, like, in the history of the NBA. This dude was a minus 36, bro.
Did you hear what Jeff Van Gundy said last night about him?
Nah, what'd he say?
I thought it was a really good point, and I thought it kind of betrayed a crack in Jason Tatum's like confidence in himself and his like everything that he's achieved so far in the NBA.
Yeah,
they were talking about how his trainer Drew Hamlin was texting him about after his rough shooting night in Game 1, he went 3 for 17 from the floor. He was like, Kobe went 3 for 17 this many times and this many times and this way, and then this is how he bounced back. And they're like, what do you think about that? And Mark Jackson was like, man, isn't that great? Like, Kobe being even the best of us. It's about how you pick yourself up, not about how you go down. And Jeff Van Gundy was like, if I was Jason Tatum, I told Drew Hammond to shut the fuck up. Like, I was a first team all NBA player this season, man. You know how many of those there were? 5. You've never been one. With all respect, Drew, I'll see you in July. I think he really uncovered a good point, which is like Jason Tatum is doing all this stuff, texting Kobe Bryant before Game 1, before Game 2. He's wearing the exact same warm-ups that Kobe was wearing in his workout with the Celtics when he was in high school. It's too much like trying to connect to the past and asking your idol for advice and stuff. You're one of the 5 best players on planet Earth. Okay? It's impose your will on the game. Stop looking for advice and excuses and prophecies that are on the top shelf of Sumeric libraries.
Yeah.
You're 6'10". You could dribble, dunk, and hit step back threes, and you had 13 assists in Game 1. Impose your will.
Yeah, he needs to, man. I don't know. I mean, like, if you just look at the box score for Game 2, like, oh, man, he had a good game. But, I mean, when you watch the game, dude played like shit. He actually played like shit. His effort was very fucking low. It didn't really look like he was out there giving 100%. That's what it looked like to me. He was taking a lot of jump shots. He was hitting, most of them, but it wasn't the same effort defensively. It seemed like he kind of bailed out on a bunch of plays. He just passed it instead of even trying to go at Steph. I mean, also,
I think he's. No, go ahead.
No, I was saying the Warriors are just fouling the shit out of Boston. It felt like for me the whole game, and they weren't calling shit, bro. Like Steph and them were just like patting at the ball all game. I'm like, damn, can I get a call? One call. That's all I need. But go ahead.
Yeah, the Celtics like to get active with those hands too. It's not like Marcus Smart and Derek White were playing textbook defense the whole time.
Nah.
They're not calling every reach like it's 2K, Terry. I promise you that. I'll say this about Jason Tatum. I think he's still trying to figure out who he is as a man.
Yeah,
before who he is as a basketball player. And you kind of could see it in these little small moments, like in the first quarter of Game 2. He had some like way over the top physical play with Draymond or somebody where he's like pushing him after the play and trying to go nose to nose. And it's like you could tell that he just heard all the criticism about him being too soft and not playing physical enough. And now he's trying to like overdo it. And it just felt so disingenuous. And it's like, dude, this is not you. Like, you're not the tough guy, Jason Tatum.
you two things can be true. I think he is a physical player, but you don't have to be a tough guy to be a physical player. Like he's a physical dude. You can't.
But as Meek Mill said, there are levels to this. All right, and like Jimmy Butler showed Jason Tatum, there's another level of physicality at your position, and this is what it looks like in the finals and in the conference finals every year. If the Celtics get back here next year and they play the Bucks or they play the Sixers, guess what? Giannis and Embiid are just going to be as physical as Jimmy Butler was. So this is the level of physicality that you have to reach, bro. I think it just seems like with his shot selection, like his game, the 13 assists, the 3 of 17, like disappearing at times on defense, being overly physical and trying to start fights on the other. It just really seems like he's grasping his straws and doesn't know like who he is in this moment. Like he's still trying to become that dude instead of knowing that he is that dude.
Yeah, he's definitely the dude. I think this dude is just. You've seen the movie Click, right? That fucking remote control. Yeah. Tatum is out here on cruise control, bro. This dude is on automatic mode. Because like even in game 1 when he got the 13 assists and shit, it was not like he was out there throwing dimes. Like
right, it was like double team. I passed to somebody who's 4 feet away from me, and they made the 3. Like
dudes were just hitting shots. Like I wasn't like, oh man, Tatum is out there orchestrating this offense like a point guard. He ain't doing a whole lot for me, bro. I think I'm hopping off this Tatum train for now. Just like these first 2 games wasn't doing it for me. In these next 2 at home, I'm gonna need to see a 35-pointer and like him to be aggressive. I'm off the train, bro. I still think Boston's probably, evidently gonna win the shit. But the way he's playing, it's just like he's not doing it. The best player, like Al Horford, looks like the best player. Jaylen Brown looks like the best player. Like Tatum never.
Well, Al Horford looked like the best player until he went scoreless last night. And he got absolutely straight up punked by Draymond Green, who ate his lunch all night long. Draymond Green last night, Terry, I feel like he won it 2 matchups at once. He outplayed Marcus Smart and Al Horford at once.
Yeah, he did.
As a 2-on-1, he beat them by 1 dude. Yeah. Like, and for all the talking heads on ESPN and Fox Sports, this whole week, they're like, after Steph Curry, how many players are you naming on the Celtics before you get to the next best player in this series? The Celtics probably have 4 to 5 best guys. No, they don't. Draymond Green is better than Al Horford, and he's been better than Al Horford his whole career. Yeah. The only year when Draymond Green wasn't better than Al Horford is when David Lee was starting over him. That's it.
Pretty much. Draymond Green is the second best player. People just forget about defense. They really just forget about defense. And it kind of seems like Draymond, has taken that defensive player of the year shit kind of personal. Because he's playing some goddamn fantastic defense. This he's a beast, bro. But honestly, dude, I don't know, man. Boston's going to win, but I ain't going to be happy about it. Like, what do you think about this final so far? No LeBron, no KD, no.
I loved it. I really loved it. I thought it's been
good
like
basketball.
Yeah, it's been a high quality basketball, and it's been like moves and counter moves, and each possession you can see like the chess game of people searching for small advantages and then trying to put out fires all over the court.
Yeah.
For somebody who loves X's and O's and loves like watching basketball at a high level, in this series we're getting to see guys make like their 3rd decision during a progression. Mm-hmm. Like we're getting to see the 3rd or 4th action in a shot clock. It's not just beat some dude, throw an alley-oop, go right to a step-back 3. Like, it is high-quality, searching around, being deliberate. Like, that play that Steph Curry had last night in transition stood out to me so much. I think he got the own rebound off a long 3 from the Celtics. And they're in transition, and Clay and I think someone else is running the corners. And if everyone else in the world would have gone as fast as they can right to the hoop to try to lay it in and beat them. As Steph Curry jogs the entire time, he's got his head up. He sees Tatum is on his hip. He gives him a little booty bump and elbow, and then create the space to hit the 3 right above the break. And it was just so in control. So like the entire time he's hunting. And then he's like, nope, this is my moment. Get up off me. My shot, my space. And I was wow, that is high-level basketball.
Oh, it definitely is. So far for you, he's definitely like the Finals MVP if they end up winning. Like it's not close.
Yeah.
He's been the best player on the court so far for the Warriors, or actually just in general for both teams. He's been the best. But
well, Terry, it'll be even an easier selection if he's the only All-NBA caliber player on the court for the Warriors, because Draymond Green looked like he desperately wanted to get thrown out this NBA Finals.
Yeah.
My guy, like, he has to toe that line of being too aggressive because that's when he's at his best. But it's bleeding a little bit over to the other side of the ledger, my guy. And he was fortunate not to get thrown out of that game. I really thought that he was going to get thrown out of that game after fouling Jaylen Brown on the three-pointer and then resting his feet on top of his head after the play and all that other shit.
I don't know. I feel like you know the ref Tony Brothers, right? Dude with the big-ass eyebrows. That motherfucker, that goofy-looking dude.
He funny, bro.
Yeah. But I'd be interested to see if there's like stats on how many times Tony Brothers is like throwing out Draymond, because they seem real buddy when they're talking to each other. I don't know if he's ever thrown him out of the game.
He defended Draymond. Did you hear the Derek White audio where Derek White was like, "Yeah, he did his pivot, and then when he pump faked, his foot slid a little bit and he traveled." And Tony Brothers goes, "I thought that was your move." And he goes, "Oh, nah. Yeah, but I know what you're talking about, but nah.
That's some funny ass shit. Yeah, I don't know, bro. These refs, game 2 especially, Draymond was definitely towing the line, man. He was really towing the line. Throwing some little, shivers and shit, little forearms and elbows. I was like...
The one where he just went full JaVale McGee on Grant Williams, where he just lowered his head and ran over him, and then they called a foul on Grant Williams.
That was wild. That was wild as fuck. I was like, what the hell is Draymond doing? And you heard your boy Jeff Van Gundy. He was like, that's an offensive foul.
Yeah. He was like, Grant Williams is in legal guarding position standing there. And then Draymond Green turns into a matador.
Yeah, that was wild as shit.
But,
it's gonna be a
he needs that. He needs that level of fuck you. Like, I'm going to actually fight at any moment intensity so that he can shut down Al Horford and Marcus Smart at the same time. And Robert Williams, who finished with 2 points.
That's true.
Like, Draymond Green legit shut down 3 players at once, but he's got to be amped up that high to do it. Yeah. When he's disengaged like he was in game 1, that's when Al Horford could pop on your ass.
That's true. I don't know. It's so funny. Like, I never thought I would say this shit in 2022, where, like, if Al Horford doesn't give you anything, the Celtics are going to lose. It's just, I never thought I would care if he did anything or not. But they need him to play better. Of course, he played like absolute shit. That's probably the worst he'll probably play. So it's a different narrative from when I was like,
probably not. As somebody who's watched Al Horford his whole career, probably not. He'll probably have 2 or more games like this in the finals. He's not a big game player. They have all this rhetoric about him now that he's in the Celtics. It's easy to look good when you're attacking the 4th or 5th best defender on the other team.
Yeah, of course. But Looney and Draymond, of course, Draymond and Looney, they're not giving up shit that's too easy. And also, the Warriors, they tried a different, type of lineups and shit just to kind of see how it worked. Game 2 is a little weird because, Celtics gave you a fucking typical 19 turnover game. So, they're always going to do that shit. And like we said, we talked about that earlier. These teams love turning the ball over. So I'm not going to be surprised if they do it again.
I thought Gary Payton II was phenomenal. And he made an impact, with his point-of-attack defense. You could tell Jason Tatum, did not want to dribble around him at all because he knew he was going to get his pocket pick. And so he kept calling up for those screens to try to get Gary Payton off of him, but it didn't work. And so then that turned into a bunch of rushed fadeaways from the nail.
Yeah. See, I think I like it when teams do that, opposed to trying to put length on these type of dudes, like on Durant and Tatum and shit. I think you get these smaller dudes on them, make sure they just
get up in them.
Yeah, you just can't do anything. Like Tony Allen used to do that shit. It's I like that a lot better on these type of guys. Get these little tiny dudes on there so they can't even dribble. Fuck it. I love it.
Gary Payton II, the mitten, he's going to have a great impact in this series if he can avoid flagrantly fouling himself midair like he did on that layup attempt.
Yeah, who was that who fouled him?
Nobody. Casper, the ghost? my dude got up there at the rim, and then he was like, "Oh God, this is when it happened. This is when it happens." Switch hands for no reason. It completely blows it. There's no one around, and then he landed. He landed on his tailbone again too. I thought he was going to break his shit again.
Yeah, that was weird. It looked almost verbatim, but I was like, but no one really did anything, dog. You got.
Yeah, I was like, no one's near you. You just did this to yourself.
This kid's funny, man. That was some funny.
He's seeing ghosts, bro. But after that, he got like a dunk and he made a layup. I was like, all right, maybe settle down, son.
Yeah. He's a solid player, bro.
What they need to do is they need to get like Draymond Green to just flagrant foul the fuck out of him in practice. Like before game 3, have him go up for a layup and have Draymond Green fuck his ass up. And then when he gets up, he'll know like, all right, my body can take this. I'm all right. No one on the Celtics is going to fuck me up worse than that.
That's true. Draymond is.
You can play aggressive.
Yeah. Draymond's a little dirty kid. But yeah, Peyton is important. I think Kuminga is another wrench they might try to throw in games 3 and 4. But I think these teams were very, very.
I think Moses Moody too. We could see Moses Moody out here.
That's true. I think these teams
shout out to Andrew Wiggins, dude. We talked about his offensive rebounding. You know what I mean? As the X factor, my boy had 3 in game 2.
Yeah. Nah, I don't know, man. I think these teams are being very strategic in their first couple games. You know, I don't think this is like the best that we can see of these guys. But like we said, it is a chess game, you know, in a series of 7. So I don't know. What are you feeling so far? I still feel Boston in 6 after 2 games. What do you think?
I still pick Warriors in 6.
Yeah.
Like all those shots Boston were making in game 1 were wide open. Like the Warriors are like, we got to double team Jason Tatum every time he catches the ball. I don't think you do. Like you have Otto Porter, you have Gary Payton, you have Klay Thompson, you have Iggy, you have Moses Moody, you have Kuminga. You have Draymond Green. You have plenty of guys who you could throw at him. You do not need to double team every play and let everyone else beat you.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see.
So that's what they did. Game 2, they're like, no, we're not selling out. Like, if Tatum and Brown score 80, then we lose. But we're not letting these other guys take a bunch of practice shots in the NBA Finals.
Yeah, they were all open as hell, like in that, especially in that fourth quarter. But, hey, I don't know. From what I've seen, you know, it's pretty even. I think the Celtics defense, though, has been kind of really, really top-notch. And, of course, we know that they're the best defensive team in the playoffs. It's not even close. So
Robert Williams looks like a shell of himself, though. For a guy who I said was the defensive player of the year, I don't know the extent of his injury, but he's clearly not moving right.
Nah. He only played 14 minutes. So, he's hurt. It is what it is. If they can get him back a little bit better for this next game. When's the next game? Wednesday? Tuesday? How many days off they getting? 2?
Wednesday, I believe.
So
and
2 more
Terry,
days
you're
off.
absolutely right. With Robert Williams coming back, James Wiseman is going to be key.
After Pritchard, and even Pritchard's iffy, their bench is garbage. After Pritchard and who's the other kid? Tice is like okay. I think it really is just Grant Williams. It's honestly just Grant. Everybody else is kind of garbage. Well, and Derek White. But besides those
Grant
two guys,
and Derek White and Tice, if you close your eyes, sometimes can look serviceable. But that's the main reason, like, I'm picking the Warriors. I named 8 guys on the Warriors that can guard Jason Tatum, the Celtics' best player. I can't name 8 guys on the Celtics that can play in the finals.
No, that's facts. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, man. But so far, we're on the opposite sides of the table as far as how it's going to go for the end of this shit. So,
even though I'm wearing a Celtics hat, I just did that because I'm Irish.
I got the Celtics green on, baby.
Yeah, I'm going to try to be their mascot, but for some reason, the dude has black hair.
I don't know, bro. Hey.
Y'all can't even get a real ginger up in here, man. Are you guys kidding me?
Hey, black-haired Celtic. They got 17 chips. Work for them for this long. Fuck it. We can keep moving.
Yeah. Well, Ime Udoka, they're set up for a long time with him there as the head coach going to the finals in your first year. Brad Stevens, one of the youngest like front office guys.
Yeah.
Boston Celtics, they're going to be back, man, with this young core. Even if they get waxed by the Warriors, this is not going to be the last time you hear from those guys.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, shit. Let's keep it moving on. More NBA news.
Yeah, I actually had a great natural transition before you just hijacked the microphone right from me. Thank you so much, Terry. I'm glad you could read the room and tell that I was trying to transition. Ime Udoka is hoping to stay in a long time in Boston, just like Quin Snyder was in Utah for the last 9 years, building that into one of the premier teams in the Western Conference. Yep. But this week, well, they did get the best record in the West, I think, 2 years. This week, Quin Snyder has announced he's had enough of Rudy Gobert. He's like, yeah, I just think it's really important for the team to have a new voice. I feel like that's what's best for the team and for the guys and just for the whole organization is that they just had a new voice. And if you read between the lines, it means this team is going nowhere fast. They're on track to pay Rudy Gobert $50 million a year when he's 36 years old.
God.
I'm getting the fuck out of here. And Terry, who was Coach Snyder's? Who was he interning under? Who was his great teacher?
Pop? I don't know.
Coach Bud.
Budenholz.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Quin Snyder was his lead assistant in Atlanta before being hired in at the Utah Jazz. And when Coach Budenholzer saw in Atlanta that Joe Johnson is getting up there, Josh Smith is getting up there, Al Horford, Paul Millsap is 34, Dennis Schroeder's the only young guy on the team. Yep. Coach Bud saw the writing on the wall and released. It could have been. He may have plagiarized Coach Bud in his statement, actually, about how the team needs a new voice and all this other shit. And then what happens? 3 years later, Coach Bud wins an NBA championship with Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks.
Facts.
So this is straight out of Bud's playbook, dog.
Well, where's Snyder going to go, though? That's the thing.
I'm so happy you asked, Terry.
Where's he going?
Come back home. Come back home. Fire Nate McMillan yesterday. Fire him in his sleep, so it's painless. Okay. Fire him at 2 yesterday and then hire Quin Snyder. Because he already has a, connection with the franchise. He's already lived in the city. You know what I mean? He is a premier offensive talent on the team. He's got a lot of young fungible parts. I could see Quin Snyder being a great coach in Atlanta. Plus, he'd keep everyone accountable with all those contorted, twisted faces that he makes. His open displays of disgust towards his players publicly. It's just the type of stuff we need here in Atlanta to, inject some zest into Kevin Huerter's white ass.
I don't know, man. I think if I was any coach, I'd step way far away from that Atlanta situation, bro. This dude, I love Trae Young, bro. I love him, but they don't have the roster around him yet, bro. They need a lot of shit to change. You need some more defensive players, dude. And I get in the draft, you tried it. You tried to get Hunter, and you tried the Cam Reddish thing, and it kind of just didn't work out. I mean, they need a roster overhaul, dude. They need some guys. I don't know if a GM is really good enough to really switch that team the way they need to be switched, bro.
Well, sure. Terry, all you have to do is read my article that's coming out later this week, and then you'll have plenty of ideas for how the Hawks could overhaul their roster this offseason.
All right.
But this isn't about the Hawks. This is about Quin Snyder, and this is about the direction that the Utah Jazz are going in, which is nowhere quick.
Blow it up. Blow it up. Get them all out of there. Utah's done. Let's move the franchise, too. Let's get out of Utah. Let's move them to Seattle. Yeah, we're done with this Utah shit. It's over. Blow it up. Get him out of there. Rudy Gobert needs to go. He's fucking trash.
Yo, move the team to Mexico City? Is that what you suggested?
Hey, anywhere but Utah.
Let's tap into the foreign fan base, bro.
Bro, do you know, I was talking to this lady from Salt Lake. How big do you think Salt Lake is? I thought Salt Lake was huge, population-wise.
Are you talking about the population or the size of the lake?
No, the population of
Oh, okay.
or of Salt Lake City. Like, how many people you think live in Salt Lake City, bro?
200,000.
You, I think, are right on the money. I think it's around 250. Oh, wait. Am I tripping? Never mind. Oh, no, yeah. 200,000, bro. That's it. They have less
Your
than
boy's
Charlotte.
a census taker. I'm a
Bro.
motherfucking census taker, dog.
We can talk about Quinn Snyder and shit, but why do they have a team? They got less than Charlotte, less than Milwaukee, less than Orlando. Like, come on, bro. Get them out of there, bro. Get them out of there. This shit is fucking stupid. Utah does not deserve a team.
Right. Jerry Sloan is dead. Okay. the last person who gave a fuck about the Utah Jazz has moved on. It's time for them as well.
Just for Karl Malone's legacy, you need to get him out of there. Student
Move him back to New Orleans, and then move to Pelicans to Mexico. That way everyone gets happy.
Oh, man. So
The Mexico City Pelicans makes a lot more sense than the New Orleans ones. I promise you that.
That's true. So as far as Quinn Snyder's concerned, I don't really know any jobs that are.
Dude, my question is like,
great.
Did the Lakers not fill out around the league? Like, you guys could have waited a week and hired Quinn Snyder.
Could have had
Not
Quinn.
that I have anything against Darvin Ham, who just got hired as the coach of the Lakers.
I think he'll be good.
But in Atlanta, when we had that 60-win team, Coach Budenholzer was the head coach. Lead assistant was Quin Snyder. Second assistant was Kenny Atkinson, who's lead assistant on the Warriors right now. And then the third assistant was Darvin Ham.
Yeah,
And out of those three great options, Kenny Atkinson, Darvin Ham, and Quin Snyder, we ended up with Nate McMillan.
Hey, man. Forget about the Hawks. I know it hurts you to, having such a.
I can't forget about it, Terry. This is my trauma. Okay? This is what I've had to deal with my whole life. Having three great head coaches, all assistant coaches on your team, and you let everyone go so you can hire Nate McMillan, who's been in the league 20 years and won one first-round playoff series.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But if we talk about destinations for Quinn, I think there's only one destination for me, honestly. Brooklyn, baby. Not the Knicks. Brooklyn. I think if he goes to Brooklyn, get Steve Nash out of there. I've seen enough Steve Nash. How long has Steve Nash been there? And I understand they had a whole bunch of roster rotational problems.
2 seasons, I believe.
Get him out. I'm done. I'm done with it. The way that they run their offense is fucking idiotic. It's always ISO ball. Like, run an offense. Let me see you do something. Can I get some KD, Kyrie pick and rolls? Can I get something? Like, we got to do something different out there. We need a good coach in Brooklyn. Get KD, Kyrie.
I like that fit, Terry. I like that fit.
He's a good coach. Because Utah, Rudy Gobert sucks ass. I don't care what anybody says. This dude's bad. And for him to run a system around him defensively, to hide his weaknesses, that's absolutely fantastic basketball. Because this dude's got the slowest speed I've ever seen in my life. And he made him a goddamn all-star for 2 or 3 seasons. Dude's a great coach.
You remember when they were defending James Harden in the playoffs with Ricky Rubio standing behind him, and then they're like, nope, no more step back threes, dog. Nope, sorry.
Hey, at least he's trying some shit. At least he's got innovation in his game. Dude has no defenders on his team, and somehow they always have a decent defense. And you're just like, I don't know how he does it. I think taking to Brooklyn. I'm a Knicks guy. We still got our boy. If he goes to New York, I wouldn't be mad either. I can see him going to the Knicks. But, as far as an actual good situation, I think Steve Nash, we've seen enough of that shit. I think
that's a great pick.
Yeah.
I tell you what, though, talk about culture shock. Kyrie Irving is going to have to get the memo on this one. Talking about, we don't really have a head coach. It's all coached by committee, the players coach.
Mm-hmm.
We're all coaches. We're all in this together. Now when Quin Snyder comes, you will learn real fucking quick. There's one coach.
Yeah. So
he's got motor oil in his hair. But, Terry, that's another good point that you just brought up about Kyrie, right? Is he even going to be in Brooklyn for this to be relevant? Nike was like, dude, we're not giving you a new shoe deal. Like, you're not on the court enough. Your brand is like super erratic. Like, we're not even sure we want to associate with your brand anymore. And then like other teams are like, why would we want to trade for Kyrie Irving? So we can extend him and he could play 16 games a season and not get the vaccine? Or so that he can leave in 18 months and alienate all his teammates, and then we'll lose a whole bunch of like trade capital?
I don't know, man. I'm not sure. But I think
what is the answer for Kyrie Irving in Brooklyn?
Well, it seems like they don't have a lot of infrastructure. So I think if you put in Quinn and add some fucking stability, he might be all right. Because I think in Cleveland they had a lot of stability with LeBron and like whoever the coach was. It'd be Ty Lue. He's a really good, not militant, I would say, but like he at least has a lot of structure as far as like team is concerned. I think that was his best years. Yeah. He was all right. He was okay in Boston as well. Brad Stevens,
no, you're right.
Had a tight ship. I mean,
you're absolutely right, bro. I'm sure Quinn Snyder is like, I'm sick of all this infighting in the team. All this drama that people keep talking about with Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell. I can't wait to just have Ben Simmons and Kyrie Irving. So I can really take a break and relax.
Yeah, you're right about that. That is a crazy one. But which one do you think is worse, though? I mean, it looked like Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert were done. After that COVID shit, it was like, that shit is over. I think Ben Simmons and Kyrie would be a cakewalk compared to those two fucking idiots. Honestly. Because, if your best players, one is horrible in defense, one is horrible in offense. I go to a team where these dudes are good at almost everything. I go to that situation. I take it 9 times out of 10. Where else is it going to go? The Knicks? For what? They suck. They're absolutely horrible. The East is getting way better. The Knicks are dropping. We didn't even get a fucking lottery pick. Actually, did we? I think we did. We still suck. We're like 13th pick or some shit. We're not going to get anybody good. It doesn't even matter. It's like, I'm not going there. Brooklyn,
I do like the Brooklyn fit. Brooklyn, Atlanta, Charlotte.
Possibly.
Now, I tell you the one reason why I would not choose Charlotte if I was Quin Snyder. And that is, if I was Dwayne Wade, the first thing I would have done is picked up the phone and called Michael Jordan and be like, hey, man, you guys need a center really bad, right? You guys had the worst defense in the league, right? You guys have had years and years of Plumlees and the other group of whites that was always there. I can't remember.
Kaminsky.
No, Frank that wasn't even the one I was talking about.
Was Frank the Tank there? He was there.
No, right? He was, but I was talking about the Zellers.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We've been through like 5 generations of these shitty white centers for the Hornets. With the Zellers, the Plumlees, the Kabinskis. We can go all the way back to Sean May. He's light-skinned. We'll take him.
After Okafor, there's been nothing but shambles of absolute trash players.
If I had to bet where Gobert would go, it would be the Hornets.
I can see that.
I doubt Quin Snyder, that would be the guy who he wants to bring with him. If he could pick anyone on the team to take with him, I think Rudy Gobert would be he'd be the 16th pick out of 15. He'll be like, I'll take the guy from the G League at 19.
Yeah, honestly, dude, I don't know, man. Gobert's situation is different, so we don't know. I mean, even if the Jazz do decide to, like, blow up everything, it's just, I don't even know where these guys are going to go. Starting literally with the head coach, I have no idea where Quin Snyder is going to go. Because I really don't know what situation is great right now, honestly. There really isn't one, to be fair. If you think there's one, you can call it out, but I don't know. Everywhere, it seems like everywhere there's a project. There's, like, no good spot to go. I mean, it's usually like that, but now way more than ever, dude.
I wonder, like, what he would do on a team like the Magic.
A lot of young dudes. He'd probably get rid of Mo Bamba. He's like, I'm sick of these tall, fucking slow feet people. Get him out of here.
Yeah. He's like, yep, we're going with the Al Horford type. Wendell Carter, you're the starting center. But Mo Bamba's a free agent anyways. I don't think they're going to be able to keep him.
Oh, he's not coming back? All right, cool. I'm fine with that. I don't know. Where do you think he'd go? Well, you said Atlanta and you think Charlotte. I feel like that's decent spot.
Atlanta, Charlotte, Brooklyn. I think all those are good spots for him.
Yeah.
Detroit, if they get rid of Dwayne Casey.
Maybe.
I don't know, man. You know what he also might do? He might just put his feet up for a year and let it marinate and wait till the next disgruntled superstar wait till Zion Williamson says, I've had enough.
Ooh, yeah. That's the one. And we've talked about that one. But the Pelicans look okay. They kind of look all right. It's weird.
So what if he sits out for a year? He lets Rudy Gobert go to the Hornets. He watches Donovan Mitchell toil in anguish one more year in Utah. And then next summer, coming to the Big Apple, there's a new big three. Zion Williamson, Donovan Mitchell, and Quin Snyder.
With the Knicks? That's
yeah. But they'll have to start calling them the Gotham Knicks.
The Gotham Knicks.
Because Quin Snyder really does look like a enemy. Like one of the dudes Batman would be fighting against. True. He but for honestly, sure bro, could be the Joker.
Honestly, the most Knicks thing would be for us to get Donovan Mitchell and fucking Zion Williamson. Of all the superstars throughout the fucking 20 years of us clamoring for this one guy to come, we get Donovan Mitchell and an injury-prone fucking Zion Williamson. Donovan can't play any fucking defense. If your boy Thibodeau is still the coach, Donovan's not playing a single second. Oh, no. Donovan Mitchell's not going to play a single minute on that goddamn court, bro. His defense is so bad. I mean, this dude benched D Rose. He benched Kemba. He benched fucking Cam Reddish. Couldn't get no minutes out there. If he ain't playing no D, he don't care.
Cam Reddish, I saw Cam Reddish walking to Brooklyn. He was like, yeah, I heard that they don't really have any coaches over there. Like, everybody gets to play. Kevin Durant told me he subs himself in and out of games. You know, they traded up a first-round pick for me, and they wouldn't even let me put my socks on yet.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. Whatever, I don't know. I don't know where Quin Snyder's going to go. That's my choice, Brooklyn. So what about Darvin Ham? What do you think about that fucking hire over there in L.A.?
I like him, man. The dude is tough. You know, he played in the NBA against LeBron. You know, They had that little brief overload. You know, I'm not sure if Ty Lue played against LeBron as well, but they're kind of part of the same generation.
Yeah.
Similar to Ty Lue, he's like a gritty player, one of the dudes who's like all basketball IQ, toughness, hustle.
Yeah.
Straight out the Ime Udoka, Ty Lue mode. Dude knows basketball front and back. But moreover, he's the dude who kept Giannis in Milwaukee. When the year before the championship ended and they were talking about bringing Giannis to Miami and everyone was courting him to come to Dallas and that and the other. Mm-hmm. They said the reason he stayed in Milwaukee was not Coach Bud. It was Darvin Ham.
Okay. Well, it's only one way to evaluate this. And it's all about your boy, Russell Westbrook. What are they going to do with this kid, bro? I mean, Darvin Ham, yeah, we'll see who takes him, but it's tough. What are you going to do with this kid, bro? Darvin Ham.
I'll tell you what. Whoa. Would you trade Russell Westbrook for Rudy Gobert?
Would I do that if I was the Lakers? Yeah. I'd trade Russell Westbrook for John Wall. Fuck it, right now.
Then that's the deal. Russell Westbrook for Rudy Gobert straight up. We let Westbrook come off the books next season for the Jazz and Gobert come off the books. And now you got Donovan Mitchell and $80 million in cap space. For the Lakers, now you have Twin Towers and LeBron James. No one in the NBA can compete with your sort of length. LeBron can go back to playing point guard. And Russell Westbrook can go toil in obscurity in Salt Lake where nobody watches. And you won't have to your kids won't have to go to school and be humiliated and be called Westbrook because we all know how polite and wholesome those Mormons are, Terry.
Out there in Utah. Honestly, bro, Westbrook could just go retire after this season. The way he played, I'm telling you, bro, and you can't disagree with the way he played this past year. It's just absolutely atrocious, man. He can't play in this new NBA because he flat out can't shoot. And if he refuses to post up and shit, what am I going to do with this kid?
Bro, he's about 2 missed finger rolls away from not being able to play for the Shanghai Sharks. That's where he's at.
I'm not saying all that.
I've watched him airball 2 finger rolls this season, Terry. He airballed them.
This kid, man. I don't know. I mean, if
Russ. Like, come on, man.
You see him being a Darvin or something?
Darvin Ham, his challenge is going to be LeBron James, not Russell Westbrook. Because we all know LeBron James wants to be the point guard, the coach, and the GM. And Darvin Ham ain't going to let that happen, bro. Yeah. He's the type of dude, he wouldn't have accepted this job if he had to listen to Kurt Rambis and do what Kurt Rambis had to say.
Well, they already said he's done with that. Rambis is like not going to be in like some of the meetings for the team or some shit like that. Like
you shouldn't be in any of the meetings. You're the worst coach in NBA history. The Kurt Rambis Knicks are the worst basketball product I've seen with eyeballs. Period.
Horrible. What the Knicks did to Jeff Hornacek was a crime. They fucked up his whole coaching shit too. But anyways, digress. Phil Jackson also should not have any say. I hope he didn't have any say in this dumbass shit. But I think the Darvin Ham decision, it will end up being all right. But it's all predicated on Westbrook, Anthony Davis' health, a bunch of shit that's out of a coach's control. This roster. I don't know, man.
At least I think the first step is developing a working partnership with LeBron James. Frank Vogel was not able to do that, after the bubble. We already saw LeBron have like his most successful partnership with Coach Ty Lue, who he even tried to bring back to the Lakers last season.
Yep.
Darvin Ham very much in that Ty Lue mold. Hopefully, like after LeBron goes to see the grass isn't greener and making all the decisions yourself isn't all what it's cracked up to be. And sometimes it's nice to have a scapegoat who you can blame things on. I think he'll get back to loosening the reins a little bit and letting Darvin Ham coach the team the way that he sees fit, kind of like Ty Lue did in Cleveland.
Yeah, maybe. Sort of. I don't know. I mean, I still feel like LeBron's still going to have like a lot of say in what goes on. I think like if you played the beginning of his career a little differently, he wouldn't be the way that he is as far as like player control and shit. Because like
if they didn't surround him with Eric Snow and Ilgauskas and all these other fucking guys, like
that's what like the Cavaliers just completely fucked him. So I don't think he's willing to like all the way let go of shit. Like he respected Ty Lue, but he still had right input.
You're absolutely right. LeBron is the dude who's been cheated on by a whole bunch of girls, and now like whenever he's like, so why is your phone screen down on the dinner table? What don't you want me to see? Why are you taking a shower right when you get home from work? It's like, LeBron, I know somebody hurt you, but this is a good woman, all right? She's showering because she worked hard, all right? Her phone screen's down because she's trying to make good conversation. You got to let that stuff go, man.
Nah, you're right.
Hopefully he does this season. And LeBron can learn to trust.
Yeah.
Learn to trust again, LeBron.
Don't you want more LeBron as a point? I want more LeBron as a point guard. I don't want LeBron being this like guy that's trying to close the games and shit. Like even at LeBron's peak of his career, he was a pretty good closer. I wouldn't say he's like one of the top 10 closers of all time or some shit. He's okay. Now he's 37. LeBron, it's time to be point. You ain't got to close these games out. Let somebody else do it. You make the decisions with the ball. You don't always have to try to score, man. Like we saw this whole season, him scoring 30 a game ain't doing shit for the Lakers. We need that 10 assists a game LeBron back. We need it now.
First of all, hey, you're not getting 10 assists a game, passing it to Horton Tucker and passing it to these guys. It's impossible. That's what he realized. He's like, I can't get 10 assists. I got to get 30.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what this GM does, but they got some problems. This GM needs to do something. Yeah. They got some problems.
The Lakers, one thing's for sure, they're going to look a lot different between now and the start of the NBA season in November. But for the U.S. men's national team, Terry, in November, their group is set. Yep. Scotland lost in the playoff. Ukraine lost in the playoff until there was one team left. Wales with your boy Gareth Bale, the only player to ever win 5 Champions Leagues for one team. So now our group is complete, Terry. We got, wow, I just blanked on it. We got England. We got Morocco. No, fuck. Who do we have? England, Iran, and England, Iran, and Wales. That's who it is.
Yeah, Iran.
This is a pretty good group for the U.S., man.
Yeah.
U.S. they've got no excuse to not come out this group. Like, bare minimum should be second.
I think we should reach for first. I think we got the talent for first, man. I think we do, but
especially if they're starting Harry Maguire.
Nah, I don't know, man. I mean, Wales is
dude. If we play England and Harry Maguire and Trent Alexander-Arnold are both on the right side of the pitch, Pulisic better be having a wet dream in warm-ups. Tim Weah and Pulisic should be able to kill those dudes.
Yeah, I think they should be able to beat Wales and England's like outside backs, because Iran actually has like 2 quick dudes. I watched them recently, like in a game. I don't remember who they were playing, but they're decently quick. But Wales is a lot of those guys are a little past their prime, because Ramsey's up there in age. We know Bale's like in his not late 30s, but he's early 30s, mid 30s almost. And Joe Allen is up there in age as well. Those are the 3 best players. So the team's old. We're young. They're old. I think we can take Wales all the way. I was afraid of Ukraine because they had all that momentum, as far as this war. They got some decent players on their team, Zinchenko. Unfortunately, Isaac didn't play. He was hurt, I believe. Or maybe he just played bad. I didn't notice him on the field. But they got some dudes that are decent, so I'm glad they didn't make it. And like we said, England.
Damn, bro, you cold-blooded as fuck. Ukraine's over here in the middle of the start of World War III, and you're like, yeah, I'm glad they didn't make it. I'm glad that their people didn't have nothing to cheer for during the worst year of their history.
That would have been too much to fucking go against, man. That was a home game for them every game. Like, that's tough to play against Ukraine, bro. I didn't want to see that shit. I couldn't. I got to root for the boys. I don't know what to tell you. You know how I feel deep in my heart. I'm with the squad, man. I can't. Ukraine is too good. I don't want to fuck with them. So I'm glad Wales is in. Wales sucks. I'm ready for it. And I'm not worried about Bale. Bale ain't doing shit. He's old. He's chilling.
Man, I hope England, when we play them, they start Robert Green again.
Yikes.
I remember the last time we beat them when he let the shot go through his legs and shit?
Yeah. Like
pulling the David De Gea.
Yeah. Wasn't that like didn't Clint Dempsey shoot it with his left foot from like 28 out and it went underneath Green's hands and you're just like, the fuck? All right, we'll take it. 1-1, baby. 1-1. I think it's all up to that England tie. If we can tie that, I think we can come first. Because England is good. I think they'll probably end up beating Wales and Iran. So it's just up to that one game. But we can't overlook it, though. We still can't overlook it. Because based on those 2 friendlies I just watched versus Morocco and Uruguay, yeah. I don't know. But that wasn't the full squad. But still, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, Terry, you bring up a good point. We didn't have our full squad, but Morocco was like the number 17 ranked team in the world. They're going to the World Cup. Mm-hmm. Uruguay, top 12 team in the nation, going to the World Cup. Uruguay had just beaten Mexico 3-0, who's the number 9 team in the world, according to FIFA. I don't know what type of crack they're smoking, but
it's tradition.
My point is, both of these teams are better than any team they're going to play in the group besides England.
Yeah.
These were 2 good tests before the World Cup. And at least against Morocco, when we weren't starting Sean Johnson, DeAndre Yedlin, and Joe Scally at left back,
yeah,
we looked pretty damn good out there, man.
Yeah, I think we really did, man. And, for the center backs to kind of play well, and especially with Carter Vickers and like Aaron Long and them were looking decent, I was like, all right, I got a little faith in the boys. Morocco's a decent team, and, to be able to take care of somebody 3-0, that's no, unseen feat that's not impressive. The shit is very impressive to beat a team that's ranked in the top 50, 3-0. That's impressive. That's always going to be impressive. So I love to see it.
I will say this, though. Don't get seduced by the scoreline. You watch the game. It was like we played well. We won 3-0. Terry, if you look at the expected goals, it's 2.7 to 2.8.
So they should have scored a couple, huh?
Mm-hmm. This was not the blowout that you would believe it was. It was a tough test.
Got that makeshift back line still, man. So I don't know, bro. It's gonna be tough.
And to your point, Terry, like we love the 4-3-3, but we're starting to see like our most amount of quality in our team is in our center midfielders. Like I asked you before, do we have an every single game starting midfield that we know is Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets? You said yeah at the time. It's Tyler Adams, it's Musa, it's Weston McKennie. In recent months, we've seen Brendan Aronson play center midfield like he did against Morocco and play fantastic. We've seen Luca De La Torre come in at different moments and look like the best midfielder on the pitch. Yep. And we've seen Busio have his moments as well. So let's revisit that question 2 months later, Terry, previewing this World Cup. Is that our guaranteed starting three?
Still sticking with the same three. They got the most electrifying talent. They're the best players. I mean, Busio looks good. De La Torre looks good. But that's more of like a substitution thing for me, bro. Those three guys just, I think, have, one, the athleticism, the soccer IQ, the skill. Like, they're just better. Those other guys are fine, but they're not on the level of those guys yet. Not yet. And I don't think they ever will be, like, at the same time. Unless they get super old. So, I don't know. We'll see.
First of all, Brendan Aronson just got bought for $30 million to go play the Leeds. All right.
Is he better than McKinney right now?
He's different. And so my point is, I don't know if like every game we need to have McKinney and Adams. Or if
so
we
Adams
need to have.
Sounds like Adams is out for you.
He would be on some occasions.
Okay.
He would not be on others. Like, I'd like to see Aronson. I'd like to see him combine with De La Torre and Adams. I'd like to see that three. I'd like to see us play three in the back and play with 5 in the midfield. And that way we can accommodate an extra one of these guys. You know? I just think, like, there's a lot of potential now for us to mix and match. If we got to play possession, we could put in Musa, we could put in Aronson, we could put in De La Torre. If we got to break up the other team's attacks, we could put in McKinney, we could put in Adams, we could put in Aronson. You know what I mean? If we need somebody to provide cover for a shaky right back, you know, we could move Adams over there and move McKinney back to the small pivot. I just think there's a lot more flexibility now that we have in our squad. And I don't think Adams or McKinney or Musa are any of them at the world-class level where it's like you can't be put on the bench. You're the first name on the team sheet. I don't believe that there's a big gap in quality between the three of them. And I think depending on the opponent, we should rotate.
Who do you think is the best out of those three?
Probably McKinney.
Okay. Yeah. He's got the highest highs.
He's got the highest ceiling, right?
Yeah.
He also has the ability to Hershey the worst when he coughs up balls in the defensive third.
I think it's
or when he decides to dribble somebody as the center midfield in front of a back three.
Yeah, he does that sometimes. I don't know. I think Adams out of those three kind of does the dumbest shit for me.
He takes the worst first touches. Like his first touch out of everyone is the worst for sure.
Well, see, for me, I would like to see Adams at right back, and then maybe you bring in somebody like Aronson, you know, to start, because I don't know how I feel about. I mean, Yedlin is like solid, but I don't know. You need a little more.
He's not that dude, man. We've seen the DeAndre Yedlin story now for 10 years, bro. He's very athletic. He's not that great at soccer. Like,
nah. And then Reggie
I just think that allows us to put more of our best players on the field, especially with Dest being hurt. You know what I mean? So that way we could play Robinson on the left. We could play Adams on the right. You have a little bit more pace on the back line there to cover for Aaron Long or Walker Zimmerman or whoever else ends up partnering back there. And then you get to have, you know, that extra little bit of quality in center midfield as well.
Yeah.
Something to play around with.
Yeah. Also, what are we looking at for center forwards? Are we going to go with Jesus? Jesus looks solid as hell. I can't lie on that. He does look pretty good.
I don't know. I've seen this a lot, like on the different groups and forums and stuff. There are a lot of people saying Jesus looks pretty good.
You don't think so?
At what exactly?
I don't think he makes big mistakes. Like, he's pretty good at keeping the ball, and his first touches are great. Like, these other guys are way bigger. You know, it would seem like they have better hold-up play, and they probably give you better chances in the air. And of course, I'm forgetting about the kid. You know, he's probably going to end up starting for real. But
Malik Tillman.
No, not him. The center.
Pepe?
Huh?
Ricardo Pepe?
Yeah, Pepe. Haven't seen him in a minute. At least me, I haven't seen him in a minute. I think Jesus is solid. He's solid. He's not going to, like, wow me, but he's not going to fuck up shit.
Well,
like,
he's not going to finish. It's what I haven't seen him do, is finish.
Yeah.
He's all right dropping into midfield, you know, taking good touches, linking up, but he has no final ball, and he can't finish in the 18-yard box. That's not what I'm looking forward in a striker.
Is Pepe hurt?
No, he's just been horrible. He got bought by that Augsburg or whatever, and then didn't score a goal in the Bundesliga the whole rest of the season.
Jesus Christ!
He was like, well, yeah, the players over here like really good. He's like, you have no time to do anything. I was like, yeah, dude. Welcome to not playing in the MLS and playing against Panama in all of your fucking international games.
That's good. We'll get him accustomed to it. You know, I think he'll end up being a lot better.
The kid to watch is Malik Tillman, who we just had sign his waiver to switch his nationality from Germany to the United States. He made like 4 Champions League starts this season for Bayern Munich. He scored a bunch of goals. He kind of likes to play as the like second forward, but he can be a 9-2. The dude can link midfield attack. He's slick. He can finish in the box. He's about 6 feet tall. He can win in the air. I think him and Pepe are going to be the answers going forward. And maybe a guy like Haji Wright as well, who took the penalty in that Morocco game, who grew up playing with Pulisic and those other guys on the U17, U19 teams, and it's now kind of having a resurgence in Turkey.
I don't know, man. We'll see. There's options. You're right. I mean, but I think Pepe's only going to get better just playing in that league. I think they're going to be in the offseason, though, but they'll still be in the season when the World Cup starts. So there is a long kind of break as far as, you know, what they're going to do for the summer. A lot of these dudes need to kind of have a different offseason because this is going to be a weird one, you know, because the World Cup's not in the summer. I don't know, man. I mean, if Pepe is going to show me that he's still shit, and he's young, and Tillman's young too, so it's just like it's just up to the development. See what they do like in the summer and see how it looks.
Jordan Morris is another guy to throw in there too, you know, who could be an option.
Yeah, he's okay. He doesn't give me a whole lot, but he's something, I guess. Dude, he's just fuck.
He's got the size and speed package.
He just played in college too long. He enjoyed college in America. He just enjoys it way too much. He could have been way better than what he is. Did he stay at Stanford for like 3 years? Or
listen, man. If any young prospects are listening to this podcast, don't go to college. If you're good at playing soccer, don't go.
You can
play
go
in a USL. Go play for a pro team.
You can go to college. Just don't play for the team. Online.
Exactly.
It's really gonna fuck you up. Those guys, they're not good. They're just not good at all. Like all they do is run. They run right at you. I'm like, all right, ball roll. Next person. It's absolutely ridiculous the way these dudes play. Like, I played against them for years and years and years. They're absolutely trash. So
you just Ruben Semedo your way all the way up the field.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, I don't know. So we got our group figured out. Wales is in there. I think USA will be all right. So
I don't know. We're just feeling very cocky right now, but it's like there's so many question marks all over this team. Like, there are more questions than answers in this USA squad, but we're like, yeah, we're going to handle Iran and Wales and England. Even though we missed the World Cup last qualification cycle.
There's a lot of tune-up games still left, and I think isn't there like a little tourney before that we are a part of, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if it's like a UEFA Nations League thing, but I think it's like a little small, tiny tournament that we're a part of that is before the World Cup. So there's some more chances for us to get, right. And Zach Steffen, whatever you're going through with your family, I'm sorry, but for him to be this comfortable, I don't like it. Matt Turner, he sucks. He's not the one. I think we're gonna have to get your young kid. We're gonna have to get your young kid out there and show me something. Sean Johnson actually looked pretty good too, but this Zach Steffen kid is getting a little too comfortable for me. I'm gonna need for him to play some games and play well because I don't think his confidence is at an all-time high right now. And with family problems too, it's a lot going on in his head. You know, I need to see some more. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and that was like always traditionally our strongest position. It was like, damn, our third goalie could be starting for half of these other countries in the World Cup. And now it's like, golly, are we going to be able to find a confident shot stopper? Does Brad Friedel have a child? He's probably old enough, right?
Yeah. Fuck, man. I don't know, bro.
Let's hope that the hopes and prayers for the whole nation don't rest on Gaga Slonina's 18-year-old shoulders. Because, like, what you don't want to do is put him in and then, like, he makes a high-profile mistake as an 18-year-old and it ruins his whole career. You know what I mean?
Well, America is definitely known for, like, if you mess up once, they're done with you, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's like, you can continue to play. It's fine. But, you know, we don't mess around with that shit. Oh, he fucked up. He's done. Like, Iko Para still could have played for the national team, bro. He still could have played for the national team.
He still can now. He should be getting looks now. You really think Cameron Carter-Vickers is that much better than Ike?
No, and especially 5 years ago, he was still good. He was still really good.
Yeah, I'm
really
wishing
fucking good.
But he made that high-profile mistake that cost us going to the Olympics.
Yeah,
they said never again.
And when we had Ochoa went to Mexico, he said, "I'm out of here on this American shit."
Deuce is
That's
bitch.
hilarious. That's so funny.
Continue the long line of Ochoas forever.
I don't know if he's good enough to start for Mexico, but we'll see one day. I don't know.
Well, I know he's not good enough to start for us. He was looking like Loris Karius out there in his only game for us. I wrote a whole article about him, Terry. He was my Wednesday spotlight. I was like, this dude is the worst goalie I've seen since the guy from Liverpool got concussed in the Champions League final.
Hey, man,
Giving him to Mexico, Terry, he's just a brown Trojan horse. That's all he is.
I don't know about all that, man. I mean, I thought he did make a horrible mistake. Don't get me wrong. But I thought he had decent performances, like as a shot stopper. I thought he was a decent shot stopper, but it is what it is. It is what it is. You want to talk about these high-profile European boys before we get out of here?
Yeah. I don't see why not.
Your boy Pogs still hadn't signed that contract yet. Where do you think your boy's going to go? If Juve don't want him, where else is he going to flourish?
Oh,
out here in these streets.
Juve want him. Juve want him. Real Madrid want him.
Madrid would be sneaky. That's a hard place to get in, though, man. Those guys don't seem to be showing any signs of slowing down, bro. Cruz, Modric, and fucking Casemiro are just fantastic.
They've been trying to transition that midfield for a decade, and it never works. They try to put Isco in there. They try to put Asensio in there. They try to put Valverde in there. They try to put Camavinga in there. None of them are better than Toni Kroos or Luka Modric.
Yeah, I think the last guy, Camavinga, I think he might be the one to crack it because he's looked decent, recently.
But what did they call Camavinga? The new Pogba. So it's like you're going to have Pogba and a version of himself from 8 years ago on the same team? I don't think so. That's going to happen either.
That'd be weird. Pogba going to Madrid, I don't really see that. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Who I could see him actually being really good for?
Whoever Balotelli is. What? Go ahead.
Liverpool.
Yeah, maybe. That's not a possibility though, right? I don't think that's an actual possibility.
It hasn't been rumored, but if I were Liverpool, I sell Mane or Salah. I have 5 world-class forwards. First of all, one of those two is gone this summer. You know that, right? I'll bet you whatever you want to bet, $100, that one of those two is gone. They will not both be back on the team. Book it. Written in stone.
It's not happening, bro. It's not happening. Too much success.
I'll pay for the website for a year if they're both on the team at the start of next season.
It's too much success, bro. Why would one of them leave? Money? Is it just money? What is
shine? There's too many cooks in the kitchen. Firmino, Mane, Salah, Diaz, Hota, what's the other guy? Origi. 6 players for 3 positions who are all starters. It doesn't work.
No. Origi? Get out of here. Fuck. Ugh. No. Stop. Don't even mention him.
You forgot he won the Champions League final? You forget about that guy already? It was 2 years ago.
He won it him? He did it himself?
Yes. He had the game-winning goal. Yes.
Nah. Get him out of here. I don't give a fuck what he did. He sucks.
I'm just saying, you can't spend that much money on, like, the same position, bro. All their qualities in the same positions. Like, redistribute that. Get Henderson, get Naby Keita out there and put Pogba in the midfield instead of Naby Keita and see how that looks next to Thiago.
What about – I don't think Thiago and Pogba can play together. I don't think they can because somebody's got to play some fucking defense.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fabinho.
All right, so we're just going to have those two and then one defender and Fabinho?
I think it would be interesting, man. I think it could work. And he could play that that position that Coutinho played for them, that left-sided third person in the midfield.
Maybe, but you got to think about this one thing. All English teams are obligated to have one English captain. They have to. Henderson's not going anywhere. Somebody's got to be that English guy. Unless they sign another English dude, somebody's got to be that English guy, man.
You don't think they'd give it to Allison or Van Dijk?
They got to have a British dude, man.
Andy Robertson. Andy Robertson.
He's Scottish.
It's UK. They'll grandfather him in.
I mean, you think about it, man. You've got it with Harry Maguire's dumbass. Even City's got Grealish and Sterling. They don't really need both.
Hold on, wait a minute, Terry. Did you just uncover like some covert racism in the English Premier League? That every single team has to they make their captain a white English guy, regardless if he's one of the best players on the team or not.
Nah, it's not the captaincy. It is it's the same thing for a lot of the tournaments. You have to have like a number of players that are actually from the country.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about with your European Union slots and South American slots and all that other type of shit.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I'm not saying it's anything.
Let me ask you, as a citizen, would you take him in City? There's reports that you guys are losing Gundogan, that you're losing Bernardo Silva. You may have a hole in midfield. Would Pogba look good in blue? He probably wouldn't have to move.
If it's a free transfer, I'll take it.
It's free. I mean, it's free. His contract's up.
Yeah, I'll take him. Okay.
I mean, you guys are rich as hell. Just pay wages. Yeah. Worst case scenario, you sign him to like a 3-year deal. He doesn't do shit, and I sell him in the winter for $30 million.
Yeah, I think under Pep, he probably needs that, honestly, because like the Jose Mourinho thing didn't work because Mourinho's just like way too strict. Like Pep is strict tactically, like outside of the field, he's a nice person. He's not a prick, so that's a different dynamic. And then like if you have talent, Pep's gonna play you. He's not like. And he kind of like, you get a little more freedom in that, in their formations and shit. Like, you don't have to be this fucking non-tactical dude. Like, he gives you freedom to do what you want. You just got to stay in your position. That's it. If he can stay in his position, you'll let him do whatever he wants with the ball. I think Pogba would be perfect.
Yeah, man. I think he would be too, especially with Holland getting behind, like taking the top off.
Because, like, when you think,
wait a minute. You talk me into it. Y'all need to make a move for Paul Pogba. Don't let him go to Juventus, Terry. In fact, the triple crown rests upon it. You guys not winning the treble without Pogba. I put my stake in the ground.
Without Pogba, we're not winning. I mean, are they saying we're losing Gundogan and Bernardo this summer?
Gundogan's gone for sure. Pep was like, we're going to fight to keep Bernardo. But Gundogan is out. For sure.
Gundogan's gone. Damn. And he was the guy who actually got us, like, the championship. That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't know. I definitely don't want Jordan Henderson, though. He can go fuck himself. He can stay at Liverpool for the rest of his life for all I care. He's actually the one that, like, keeps Liverpool, like, not at that top level. They need to get rid of him, honestly. They do, bro. Like, he's a fantastic leader and all that, but at a certain point, leadership needs to turn into talent as well. He's not at the top class of everybody else.
Listen, man, then make him an assistant coach. Like, this is not the NBA where you guys can give what's his face on the Heat a roster spot.
Oh, Udonis
Haslem. Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that in soccer. You need all your subs to play. Like, you need them here to contribute.
On another note, though, another Juventus player, where do you think Dybala is going to go? Because he's gone. He's out of there.
Well, I tell you what he won't do.
What?
Leave Italy.
Oh, you think he's going to stay over there, huh?
Dude, all those good Italian players just stay in Italy their whole careers. They're all such pussies. They all refuse to go to other leagues and challenge themselves. And then they're like, yeah, Italy's the best league. It's just the best tactics. The soccer's on another higher level. No, bro.
You don't think the Italian league's not a good league?
When's the last time an Italian team won the Champions League? Inter in 2009?
Probably.
Yeah.
Hold on.
So there we have it.
But Juve was in the final when MSN played with Barcelona.
Yeah, and then they got waxed by Real Madrid the year after that, too. We waxed them, and then Madrid waxed them 4-1, 4-0.
I don't know, man.
It's a Mickey Mouse league. All right, it's a bunch of uncooked pasta. They got thrown in the water. It's not ready yet.
Mickey Mouse.
I'm fucking with you, but I would like to see Dybala challenge himself. Is what I'm saying, and like, don't just transfer to Inter Milan from Juventus. Don't just go to AC Milan or whatever. Take a leap, bro. I'd like to see Dybala in Spain. I'd like to see him for Atletico Madrid. How about that?
Yeah, I'd love to see it. But
he could be what Griezmann wasn't. Put him on Pathetico.
But it never works out. It literally never works out. Name one dude where it worked out. Like a top guy. Like Pogba, he flopped.
That came from the Italian league?
Yeah, besides Eto'o.
Cancelo.
Yeah, it took him a minute, but he's back. It took him a little while, though. I ain't gonna lie. They even thought about selling his ass after a whole year. I was like, yo, chill, let him play. But you're right. I guess he's the one. He's the one.
But you know what, though? The reason that he made it is they switched his position. And they're like, you're going to learn to play center midfield. Because out wide in the Premier League, like, I actually just read an article about this because Tottenham just signed Perisic from Inter Milan. Yeah. They're talking about how in England, like, you don't have no time on the ball. Like, you're being pressed immediately. There are way more open spaces and opportunities and breakaways because of that. It's not as tactical as in Italy. But if you're not in shape, like tip-top shape, prepared to sprint the entire time, and you're not ready to the athleticism and pace of the Premier League, you'll get swallowed up, bro. And that's why you've seen a lot of those outside backs, especially, who came from Italy, who can't hack it into Premier League because the game is way faster.
The game is faster. I don't know if it's necessarily better, though. That's why I think, like...
No. Not better. It's different, but it's definitely faster. And you got to adapt.
Yeah. Well, that's why I think, like... I always joke around with, like, the Premier League clearly being way better than everybody else. I don't think that it's, like, way better than everybody else. I just think that, like, the bottom teams are really fucking bad. I think some of the bottom teams in, like, Italy and Spain probably are smacking them. But, like, it's just athletically and shit. They're a little different. They just play soccer like brutes. And that's why I think, like, City, like, Pep's system just went in and dominated the league because they actually passed the fucking ball. And these British people just like, hey, mate, what the fuck's going on here? They're making 10, 15 passes.
There's not a lot of, like, tactical excellence in England among the coaches.
Not really.
Like, the best coaches are in Italy and Germany and Spain. They're not in England.
I think so. Well, do you think Italy's the third best or fourth best? Tough question.
As top to bottom as a league or their best teams?
Just as a league.
He probably third best.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think they're there. They're usually there. Their top teams have, like, a lot of history, though. Like,
but
they're really
don't just go to another Italian team, dude. I'm sick of this shit. Italian players leave Italy, all right? This is why y'all didn't make the World Cup the last 2 cycles. You're too racist. You're too xenophobic. You're like, we got to keep it all Italian, all right? All these outside, they don't know how to do it. In Italy, we know how to do it. We know the soccer, all right? If you knew the soccer, you wouldn't have lost to North Macedonia, all right? If you knew the soccer, you wouldn't have missed the last World Cup as well. So get off this high horse. Like the Italian league and Italian version of soccer is so much better than it is everywhere else in the world. And get your ass over to England or to Spain.
To be fair, they did win the Euros. To be fair.
And then didn't qualify for the World Cup.
But that's still a major trophy, though. But you're right. I don't know where he fits, though, man. He's like one of those dudes where he fits that league. Like, not a lot of teams play with, like, that attacking mid type shit. Like, teams don't really do that. Like, he kind of gets away with, like, not playing defense. You know?
Like,
so who plays like that anymore?
Put him on Sevilla.
Sevilla. I could see him being the center forward for Liverpool. But I don't know. I can't think of any other team, honestly. Maybe Bayern, but I don't know if he'll fit. I'm not sure. I don't know, bro.
What about Tottenham? He's got Conte as the coach.
Maybe.
Had success under him before.
I can see that.
You know, he's got Perisic coming over from the Italian league as well. So he's a guy you could speak Italian to, help him, you know, transition to the culture and everything like that.
That's true. Well, you don't want
that would be pretty nasty, too, to have Harry Kane in the middle, Son on the left, and Dybala on the right. That's an attacking trident that rivals the best in the world.
No, that'd be crazy. All I care about is him not going to Man U. Do not ruin your career. Don't do it. Because I hear these talks. I don't want to see it. Don't do it, bro. You'll never win again. You might even get hurt playing on that shitty field. Everything about that organization is shit. The field, they got rid of Ragnick, who was like a decent fucking interim manager, I thought, or consultant or whatever. I thought he was decent. Your roster's just weird, man. So don't sign another attacker. Please focus on the defense. But besides that, I don't know.
What they're going to do is spend $100 million to buy Frankie de Jong from Barcelona. That's what they're going to do.
Well, that'll fix all our problems. It's not. You need defenders. That's all I'm saying.
I would like to see Frankie de Jong in the British league, though, like playing 3 and 4 yard passes and triangles around these guys from Stoke. You know what I mean? That would be very entertaining to watch him do that.
So is Frankie gone?
I feel like Frankie de Jong, like all that shit is cool and it's fun and cute until you play against Joey Porter and he breaks your leg in half.
No, that's true. Wait, is he gone for like money situations? Does he have to leave, or what's going on?
He said he wanted to stay, but Manchester United, you know, they have his old Ajax coach, and that's the dude he wants to bring in as his star signing. Bring Frankie de Jong back. And for us, it's like we got Pedri, we got Gavi. You know what I mean? We have talented young midfielders that are coming up, and we also are crazy in debt. So they're looking at it. And he came out like the Netherlands just dismantled Belgium this week in their game. And Frankie de Jong was spectacular, like 10 out of 10, man of the match. And they're like, dude, why don't you play like this for Barcelona? And he was like, I play a different position. For the Dutch team, I'm always the first player to collect the ball from the center backs and to build a progression in midfield. He's like in Barca as Busquets, and I'm the second person.
Mm-hmm.
And so that kind of made it. He's like 34, 35.
No, so how much longer do I have to watch him play? He's good, but come on.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Busquets should be now like a squad player. Frankie de Jong should be starting in Busquets' position, and Busquets should be coming in when we need to kill possession. Like, we're up 2-0. Now we're just going to make them chase the ball the rest of the game. You're not getting it back. Like, you don't need to be starting from the first minute of every game, dude.
I don't know. We'll see.
And you see Gavi, speaking of Barca's other young midfielder, yesterday broke Ansu Fati's record to become the youngest goal scorer for the Spanish national team. 17 years and like 20 days or something like that.
Jesus. Hey, man, I got some boys out there. You better keep Frankie, though. I think he kind of glues it together, but if he goes, he goes.
I agree.
If he goes, he goes. All right, buddy.
Well, Terry, we'll be back in a week. We'll have 2 more NBA Finals games to discuss. We'll know whether Ousmane Dembele is going to go to Chelsea, Frankie de Jong is going to go to Manchester United, and if what's his name, Pogba is going to go to Inter Miami.
Yeah, hopefully we know what Pogba's doing by next week, but
I can see Pogba actually being that dude to be like, I'm going to be the first superstar to go to the MLS in my prime. I'm about to go to the LA Galaxy and live the Hollywood lifestyle and the Instagram life and make stupid money and just be America's first soccer superstar.
Is he still a superstar though? That's the thing. He's played for like 4 years straight, so I don't know. It would still be big, but I don't know.
He would be to them.
Of course.
Trust me, I watched El Trafico this year. He'd still be able to cut it.
You're right. I mean, shit, if Carlos Vela is still, oh my God, just completely cooking everyone, I'm sure Pogba could be like the best player in the league. But yeah, man. Hey, so you know what we got cooking in the books? You said you got an article coming up?
I do. It will be out before the next episode. It's coming out this week. Promises are on deck. I got to deliver. All right, I had my USA coaching class. Got my D license over the weekend.
He's nuts.
Yep. First time I've had to receive a D instead of giving one out. And it really wasn't that bad, Terry.
Yeah, buddy. Keep it moving.
Whatever, man. Happy Pride Month to you guys. We'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Thank you for listening to our podcast this evening. Thank you. You're far too kind.